Well, I'd like to introduce somebody very special in this movement, has really worked hard during this whole spring and summer. If you go on any of our Facebook pages, or you read the things that he's saying, this Jerry Burkett, he's going to be talking to us a little bit, introducing how we got to this place. He's a principal of Milam Elementary, he's a blogger, he's an advocate, and I think he's got something very important for us to say. So I'd like to welcome Jerry on up here.
Thank you, Alan. Can I walk around? I'm a principal, so I've got to walk around, if that's okay. Yes, I am a principal, former teacher. I work in Grand Prairie ISD, but I'm also a dad. I want to tell you a story about my son Jackson. Now, he just turned 4 this year, and I couldn't be more proud of him. I mean, proud dad. Now, he goes to daycare now and will start public school next year. Now, growing up in daycare, he's got a friend that he comes home every day and talks about Gabriel. Gabriel's been his little friend now for the last couple of years. However, when they start school next year, they're 5 years old, they go into kindergarten. They live 2 miles apart. The 2 miles apart, the street that divides them is divided by a school district. So Jackson will go to one school district, Gabriel will go to another. They will not see each other when they start school next year. Well, when they start school next year, Jackson will be worth $1,800 more than Gabriel, by nature of our broken school funding formula system, which is the first problem with school funding. Now, is it fair that Jackson is going to be worth $1,800 more? Their parents live in virtually the same neighborhood, pay virtually the same property taxes. They just live in 2 different school districts. But because of the school funding formulas and the broken nature of those formulas that are set at a frozen point in time in 2003, Jackson is worth $1,800 more than Gabriel. Now, the second fundamental problem is that because Gabriel's parents chose to live where they live, which is a nice neighborhood, I'm not knocking where they live, but it's not growing anymore. And because it's not growing anymore, the school district's having difficulty raising funds locally. So they may have to call for a tax election because of compressed tax property rates from 2006. See, at one point, property taxes were about $1.50. Those were compressed a third to $1.04, $1 in some cases, depending on where you live. Now, because Gabriel's school district may have to call for that tax rate election, what that really does is it puts superintendents in an adversarial relationship with their constituencies, sort of forcing them to say, hey, could we please have some money because Austin made it this way. Some school districts responded with good tax rate elections. Everman, where are you? Everman's community recognized that a tax rate election was important for their community, and they were able to pass that. However, other school districts have not been successful because of that. Is that Gabriel's fault? Because when he starts school next year, he will not have a bus to take him there because of these school funding issues. Now, the last fundamental problem that I would point out is the $4 billion in cuts that occurred. Now, just by nature of when Jackson and Gabriel were born, there will be no new funds to fund them when they enter school next year. So the state of Texas was not able to fund for student growth. So because of their age and when they were born, if they were born 2 years ago, this wouldn't be an issue. But because of their age, their school districts will not be able to fund them with any new funds. The first time in a long time. I think it's time that we make education more of a priority in this state. It's not for a lack of revenue, it's for a lack of priority. And with that, I'm pleased to see you here taking a stand for education and making sure that we fix our broken funding formula system, we renew the tax code so that we have appropriate revenues for our students, and we find the money where it needs to be found. Thank you.
So the things Jerry said, we're going to hear over and over tonight, and if you're with us for the workshops tomorrow. See, all of you are organizers. All of you. That's actually a good word, by the way. Don't think it's a bad word. It's good to be an organizer because you go out and inspire other people. So you're going to learn tonight